And I just felt the need to share a few thoughts. Like most women, I'm really into the whole like wheel of the year. I mean, I don't mean in a Wiccan sense. I just mean like, celebrating things like seasons and holidays, and even more so from an astrological perspective. Because like the sun and also the other planets are like going through all the 12 signs of the zodiac during the year, and the kind of like gives us an opportunity to tap into and remember these different sorts of energies, which I think is useful because it kind of gives our psyche more flexibility, you know what I mean, by tapping into all these different points and perspectives on what life can be about. And December is, of course, that's the Jupiter season, at least up until December 21st. It's the season of when the sun's traveling through Sagittarius. And what we normally associate with this time is pretty perfect, because it's about like celebrating, overspending, overeating, being generous, and having fun and going to parties and stuff, right? And all of that stuff is perfect for Jupiter. Like, he really loves it when we're kind of indulging and we're loosening our belts and we're gaining weight and we're going into debt buying things. You know what I mean? Because we don't want to get too uptight and too rigid. And so it's great to have a period of time that's all about that. But I do like have one idea of how this season could really be improved. The part about Sagittarius and the Jupiter season that I kind of feel we're forgetting a little bit is that Jupiter is very much about charity and very much about reaching out beyond your circle, right? Beyond your friends, beyond your family, reaching into the unknown. Like, Sagittarius is an arrow because the arrow represents going beyond, right? Going beyond your comfort zone. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of the like step outside your comfort zone philosophy in general, because I've tried that philosophy and it led to horrible things. But it does have its place, right? And its place is in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is really about what it really begins once you step outside of your culture, outside of your comfort zone, outside of your family, outside of your circle of friends, outside of the world that you know, right? And it's traditionally associated with like travel, specifically international travel, right? Because that means like going into the unknown, basically. But I feel that in our modern time, international travel, I mean, it depends. But I mean, I don't think just because you're like getting on a plane and you're going to another country and like staying in a hotel and like sightseeing or whatever, that's necessarily really taking you outside of the world that you know and understand, right? You might be seeing different things, but it's not necessarily like truly, I don't know, opening up your heart to like a new reality. I mean, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But either way, the bottom line is that you definitely don't need to get on a plane and warm up the globe in order to do that. You can actually, the other worlds and the other cultures and the things that are totally outside of your frame exist right in your own community. They're called poor people. There's poor people everywhere. There's homeless people. There's people who are alone. There's people who are needy. There's people who have unusual problems. I mean, everywhere around us is something that would make us feel uncomfortable and make us have to step into a new world. And that's like really the amazing thing about charity. Like, I don't think of charity, like, I mean, I'm not a morals person. I'm like a serial killer. But I think, to me, the thing about charity is when someone is truly in need, they're open to you, you know? If you go up to like a billionaire and you're like, hey, do you want to be friends? He doesn't want to be friends. I mean, maybe he does, but it's less likely. But when someone is truly in need, when they're at the bottom, then that person's open. And their magic, their world is open for you to step in. And so it's like, their need creates an opportunity for you to like expand your world and to step into something completely new. And by kind of cutting this part out of the Christmas season, I feel like we're sort of removing the thrill. You know what I mean? Like, if you're someone who's like got like outfits and going to parties and nice dinners and stuff, like you might enjoy those, but if you're doing that, you're already living that lifestyle, so it's not really going to give you a thrill. You might like enjoy it, but that's not really enough, you know what I mean, to be super fucking excited about the season. It's like, if you want it to be like a thrill, you want it to be like blowing your mind a little bit, right? You have to like step outside of that. And I feel like charity and including people is the way we can do that. Like, imagine you're at this beautiful Christmas dinner with your family and you're like, oh, this is so special, yay. But now imagine that half of the people at the dinner are like homeless people and mentally ill people, and so like crazy things are happening. But maybe like one of those people, you form a connection that really changes their life and their destiny, or maybe it changes your life and your destiny, you know what I mean? It's like you're really opening this portal for a more powerful form of magic to happen. And I know that like people generally like do some form of charity at Christmas, but I just feel like they could be a little bit more adventurous, right? Because Sagittarius is the sign of adventure. So if your Christmas season, if you're like spending tons of money and pleasuring yourself, but it's not really an adventure, then you're kind of missing the boat, you know what I mean? You're missing the main event. It's supposed to be a jaw-dropping adventure. And I think the way that we can really do that is, this is like a holiday where we reach out, you know, beyond ourselves, beyond our friends, beyond the world where we are comfortable and where we understand what's going on. Because you got to remember, from a Jupiter perspective, from a Sagittarius perspective, mankind literally is your family, you know? So it's like, if you have like a crazy brother, what are you just gonna like let him starve on Christmas? No, you're gonna like try to feed him and try to help him, and then it's gonna become a whole drama, but through that drama you kind of grow and you stay like, you know, excited about life. And so it's by like reaching out to people who need help and could use charity that you get like to expand your own experience, and you get to expand your own life. So I mean, that's kind of like what I think we should put back into Christmas. We should put the charity back in, but we should remember that we're not really doing the charity to help other people. We're doing charity because when other people are down on their luck, that's our fucking golden opportunity. You know, that's like when someone else is down on their luck, that's a once in a lifetime opportunity to tap into the unique magic that person has to offer. Once they're not down on their luck anymore, they won't be so open, you know, and so that opportunity closes. And so Christmas is a time when we can like have adventures by considering those who have needs as part of our family. And that can be poor people. I mean, that's like an obvious example, but I really think it can be anyone who's outside of the fold for whatever reason, you know what I mean? Who's needy, who has holes that need to be filled. The arrow can just go straight through those holes. Feels so good. Yeah, so that's my opinion on how the Christmas season could be improved. But other than that, I think like the excessive spending and eating and drinking and partying is all A+. That shouldn't be changed. We just need to like make sure that like homeless people and, you know, people, recluses and people like that are also like having the wine and the treats and the presents and everything like that. Thanks.